Yo, what is up guys? I'm bringing you a brand new video, and this time we're talking about Awakening Berserker Addons. I made a video for Awakening Berserker Addons in the past, but a couple things have changed since then, and the meta's kind of shifted a little bit. So I wanted to show you guys some updates to add-ons, and we're just going to get right into it here. I'm going to show you first off, these are my general purpose add-ons, but I'm also going to adapt these to be tailored purely for PvP or purely for PvE, depending on what your main goal is. But these are the add-ons that I basically just never touch, and I leave it like this. And I'll take you through some of the justifications as to why I choose what I do. So first of all, we got Storming Beast. Now this has all accuracy plus 3% and all evasion minus 3%. The reason we do that is because a lot of our initial catches or starts of combos include this ability. It's used after every grab. It's also used as a catch. So having that extra hit rate on an evasion target is super nice. Next up, we have Frenzy Destroyer. Now, this is where the sort of general purpose add-on and PvP add-on collide. Critical hit rate is nice for the PvP combos as well as for PvE, and then of course monster damage on a spammable skill that we generally use before every pack anyway is super nice to have monster damage on. So this is where I kind of have a hybrid of the two. And then moving on to ground lifting. Now, this is typically an ability we use to transition from our pre-awakening to our awakening, and it is also potentially a CC, but either way, we use it at the midpoint of our combo. So having an extra PvP damage plus 10% for the second half where the big damage comes in, as well as having some attack speed in case you're in like a 2v2 situation and need to get that damage off a little faster. Now, for every ground lifting, generally there is a Seismic Blast as well that comes after it. So all DP minus 15 for 10 seconds, as well as a bleed. Now, you can't really lack on this bleed. I've gotten quite a few kills just from random people V'ing and dying in their V because of it. And it's also at least an extra couple hundred damage in a combo, just based on, 6 seconds go by and it's an extra 200 damage. It's really not that bad as an add-on, and it completely bypasses any of their defenses. It's just a flat number. After that, we've got Titan Blow. Now, Titan Blow can be active against both your Ancient Wave, like your Ancient Wave will activate it, as well as your Titan Blow will activate it. So it kind of doubles up. It's generally more for the Ancient Wave, why I have this. In large scale, you normally will have yourself using like you're gonna Lava Piercer in, Ground Lift, Seismic, and then Ancient Wave and Split Shot. So having the extra attack speed is really nice to get the Split Shot out quicker, as well as Giant Leap away, because that's going to be your disengage, so it'll activate that iframe a little bit faster. So that is why I choose attack speed and cast speed on the first one. And then the second one, usually your target's going to be on the ground because you're going to Lava Piercer in and Ground Lift, so they'll be on the ground. And it's kind of nice to get the extra 5% damage modifier there on down attacks. After that, this is purely a 1v1, but also pretty helpful in large scale, is having the extra slow. It takes our Devastation slow, which is already 30%, and it makes it 37. So it completely cripples your target, and it also can be used for a large amount of people in large scale to slow them down as well. So it's a pretty solid add-on to have there. Now, if I was to purely make this PvP oriented, there's not really a lot that we need to change. Like, everything here is totally PvP spec'd, except for Frenzy Destroyer, where instead of the monster damage, you have your critical hit rate. You can really choose anything. You might even choose to have extra critical hit damage on it, for example, to really capitalize on your critical hit rate. That might be something that I do. So just by doing that alone, all of a sudden you've changed these add-ons to purely PvP. So they're generally PvP, but just has the extra monster damage for the PV on the spammable skill. The other thing to keep note of is if you wanted to spec of more of the large scale builds, you would change out Storming Beast entirely and put that as your Flame Buster. And then you would change it to have all accuracy and minus evasion. Because Flame Buster has a really bad accuracy rate, and so for large scale, when you Q buff, it's pretty nice to have the evasion and accuracy buffs on your ranged abilities. So that is something that I would do there. And that's pretty much it in terms of PvP and general purpose. Now, if we're to make this completely PvE, then things change quite a bit. So you've already got critical hit rate and monster damage as well as attack speed on ground lifting. So you don't need much more in the way of attack speed because this is a spammable ability. You got the critical hit rate. That's a spammable ability you always use. You get some 20 monster damage, which is fine. But this build distinctly lacks a lot of 30 monster damage. So I would probably go Fearsome Tyrant, and I would do the extra monster damage plus 30% for 7 seconds. This ability is pretty nice as a pulling mechanic, especially since we can shake off out of it now. You can just insta-cast the ability, shake off, and get on with your day. It is a large cooldown. It's actually a 45-second cooldown once you level it all the way up. And so you're not going to get too much use out of this, but it is a pure PvE build, and there's really nothing else. After that, Devastation, you don't really need these slows for mobs, so I would change that to Predatory Hunt. It also has 30 monster damage, and then you can also hit critical hit rate plus 30%. Now, the reason you would do this is Predatory Hunt actually has a passive on it where if you jump twice, you'll get around 22% critical hit rate, which means that you'll then get the 30% critical hit rate. So right out the chute, you'll have 50% critical hit rate, and you likely will go into a spin or something like that, and the spin doesn't have any crit on it at all. So it actually makes the spins quite a lot more effective by having this add-on. And then you also have the monster damage. From there, you can change out this PvP damage right here. You could go to something like, instead of, so you have the attack speed, of course, but then the PvP damage can be replaced for something like critical hit damage as well, given that most mobs don't end up on the ground. You could also do back attack damage, depending on what your main focus is. Like if you try to get behind the mobs a lot, then it's cool to have the back attack, but generally critical hit is the safest to go with. And just like that, you've got yourself some perfect PvE add-ons. You know, you have a couple scenarios where you can get the 30 monster damage. Usually you're going to get it for 3 packs in a row because you'll be doing Predatory for 1 pack, then you'll Fearsome Tyrant the next pack, Predatory will be back again for the next pack, and then for any packs while you're waiting for that cooldown, you can just use the Frenzy Destroyer monster damage. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you guys like these add-ons. And I'm going to put pictures to all 3 of these different builds in the description if you just want a quick glance at them. But other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.